The expansion tank, also known as the coolant reservoir or overflow tank, manages coolant volume changes due to temperature fluctuations, maintains system pressure, and ensures a consistent coolant supply. The expansion tank is a plastic or metal container connected to the radiator or cooling system via a hose, typically located near the radiator. It serves as a storage reservoir for excess coolant and a buffer to maintain proper coolant levels. Its operation is closely tied to the radiator pressure cap and the cooling system's thermal dynamics. A cooling jacket is an integral part of an internal combustion engine's cooling system, designed to regulate engine temperature by absorbing and transferring heat away from critical components. The cooling jacket consists of a network of hollow passages or channels cast into the engine block and cylinder head, surrounding areas that generate significant heat, such as the cylinders, combustion chambers, and sometimes exhaust ports. These passages allow coolant to circulate through the engine, absorbing and dissipating heat to prevent overheating. The water pump, driven by the engine, forces coolant into the cooling jacket through inlet ports. The coolant flows through the passages, coming into close contact with the hot metal surfaces of the engine block and cylinder head. The hot coolant then exits the cooling jacket through outlet ports and flows to the radiator, where it releases heat to the atmosphere. The cooled coolant then returns to the water pump to repeat the cycle. The coolant temperature sensor, also known as the engine coolant temperature sensor. It monitors the temperature of the engine coolant and sends this data to the engine control unit to optimize engine performance, fuel efficiency, and emissions. The CTS is typically a thermistor, a type of resistor whose electrical resistance changes with temperature. Most commonly, it's a negative temperature coefficient thermistor, meaning its resistance decreases as the coolant temperature increases. The sensor is usually mounted in the engine block or the cylinder head, where it is in direct contact with the coolant flowing through the cooling jacket or a coolant passage. The ECU supplies a low voltage to the CTS through a circuit. As the coolant temperature changes, the thermistor's resistance alters, modifying the voltage signal returned to the ECU. When the coolant is cold, the resistance is high, resulting in a higher voltage signal. As the coolant heats up during engine operation, the resistance drops, lowering the voltage signal. The ECU interprets the voltage signal to determine the coolant temperature. It uses this data to adjust various engine parameters, such as fuel injection, to enrich the fuel mixture when the engine is cold to improve starting and warm-up. Ignition timing, adjusting spark timing for optimal combustion based on temperature. Cooling fan operation, activating the radiator fan when the coolant exceeds a certain temperature. The CTS also provides real-time data to the dashboard temperature gauge or warning light, alerting the driver to the current